Okay. All right. Hello, it's Eilers-Heffner. I am a doctor of physical therapy, but also a Ruby ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, senior Ruby ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. Sorry, I'm so excited. That's still a new title for me. And I am here with my good friend, Jackie Hastings, and we actually graduated from PT school together. So we are here because we are just so excited to share with you how much we love being physical therapists and how that is really tied into helping others through the avenue of Plexus as well, and just how much we appreciate the products and who we're working with our team, with the company directly, and with one another. And so, yes, we're just really happy to be here with you. So I'm going to let Jackie introduce herself, and then we're going to share a little bit with you.
Hello, I'm Jackie Hastings, and like Elizabeth said, I'm also a doctor of physical therapy. I graduated with Elizabeth from U of M, and I am a new Ruby ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. So I'm very excited about that, and we're excited to talk to you tonight about some of our scientific stuff with regards to these products and how they've been helpful for us, and how we think that you can benefit from some of our knowledge and our research and our experience with this.
Absolutely. And I do want to point out that, we happen to be physical therapists, but it doesn't mean that you have to have this degree to share Plexus at all, because somewhere down, around, up the line, you're going to have a lot of scientifically minded people to talk to if you need that. But also Plexus just gives us a lot of information too to help share. So just because we happen to have these degrees doesn't mean that it's a requirement at all. It just helps our brains because we have learned so much about research and things like that. So we really appreciate that side of the products, but it is definitely not a requirement. So I wanted to start out with something, just what does a physical therapist do? Because we know what we do, but that might not be something that everyone out there knows. So I just kind of Googled it, like, hey, physical therapist. And I found like a people that was kind of describing it. And so I just wanted to read a couple things to you. So what does a physical therapist do? From teaching someone to walk again, to relieving the pain of arthritis, a day in the life of a physical therapist can be challenging, but also rewarding. As a physical therapist, we diagnose and treat patients who have health conditions that limit their ability to move and perform everyday activities. And we not only help restore their physical function and mobility, but also work to promote overall wellness and boost quality of life. So quality of life to us is very important. And this means with a mobility standpoint, as well as feeling good on the inside too. Physical therapy is a great career if you're interested in practicing hands-on care and want to empower people to positively engage in their own health and healing. How awesome is that? Oh my goodness. So we can help patients avoid surgery, reduce the need for prescription drugs, and also just developing those relationships with our patients, with our coworkers is really rewarding as well. And to get to this point, there's a deep understanding of anatomy, kinesiology, as well as learning to help people be empowered to feel more motivated to go after these challenges, and encouraging people that are struggling with pain and physical dysfunction. So that is really cool. That's just a very brief little lowdown. And everything that I said about being a PT is also something that I believe we do as Plexus ambassadors, and that again is something that anyone can do. So Jackie's going to talk a little bit about her physical therapy setting, and then I'm going to talk about mine. So Jackie, tell us where you work, or what setting and what you focus on.
I currently work in outpatient physical therapy, and We're in northern Michigan, up in the UP, so we are in a rural setting, which means we can see anything. So my day-to-day consisted of seeing a 3-month-old baby, a woman who has some pelvic health issues, somebody who had a total knee replacement, somebody with back pain. I never know what's going to walk through the door, but all of these patients, our job, and one of the things that I talk to them is, I'm not here to physical therapy you. I'm here to teach you how to take care of yourself. And one of the big things we do is educating our patients, because we want them to feel better, and we want to teach them how to continue to take care of themselves, which is pretty much what we do with Plexus as well. You know, I don't want to just spoon feed somebody products, because that's not helping them. I want people to understand what they're taking, why they're taking it, how it's helping them. And it kind of gets down to the root of the issue. You know, if I see somebody who has difficulty walking, and I just say, okay, do this. They're like, okay, what is their dedication to doing that? Why are they going to do that if they don't understand? So that's why I like my nerdness coming out and teaching people some of the background on these different products and why they're helpful. You know, why do I need a probiotic? Why do I need this drink? Why do I need BioCleanse? You know, if I can explain to them why it's helpful and what they're doing, then I give them the tools and the power to take control of their lives back. So that's kind of my job in a nutshell.
Absolutely.
How about your setting, Elizabeth? How do you see that?
Yeah, so I have spent a lot of time in pediatrics, in the school setting, a little bit in outpatient, a little tiny bit in home care, but primarily I've worked in the hospital setting, and I see patients of, like Jackie, it could be anything. So our hospital doesn't focus on inpatient pediatrics, which I have done at other hospitals that I've worked at, but adult population, post-surgical, so post-hip replacement, post-knee replacement, back surgeries, people that come in for other like abdominal surgeries, vascular surgeries, trauma, falls, fractures, things like that. And then also like neurological conditions. So strokes, head injuries, spinal cord injuries, and just helping those people getting up and moving right away in all conditions, as long as it's safe to move with their medical status, which Jackie and I both have had to, you know, study and know these labs and different conditions and how they affect our bodies. And putting all those pieces together. So kind of putting what the cardiologist said together with what the neurologist said, with what the medical doctor said, putting those pieces together, and then coming up with an appropriate treatment plan after evaluating where the patient is actually at. And, you know, you can just see anything in the hospital. We have seen some crazy stuff. So, what Jackie and I both see in common in our practice is that people a lot of times have long-term inflammation. Inflammation is linked to heart disease. Poor gut health is related to like some of the dementias and Alzheimer's now. Like they're finding new research on those things. And so obviously Plexus is a direct like preventative for combating inflammation, combating candida. And so, you know, when you see people every day that have had these issues for years and years and years, and their root causes haven't always been addressed, it can seem a little overwhelming, you know, like, oh. And so with this Plexus opportunity and being able to show people that inflammation over time is so dangerous to our bodies, it is very dangerous to our systems. Do I have my personal self, I've never had huge weight loss goals, but I understand the dangers of carrying around a lot of extra weight. It is not good for our heart. It is not good for our organs. Can be very, very dangerous. And so addressing root cause through Plexus has been just so amazing for us to see. But anyway, it's just such a great opportunity to address those root causes. And we always say addressing inflammation, blood sugar regulation, and gut health can bring so much balance to so many systems. And I've seen it over and over and over and over and over again. And if you read these testimonies in this group, in this gut health group, you will see those testimonies over and over and over again. And it's like, wow, this is so awesome, you know? So I'm going to share real brief what my personal testimony has been. So I have decreased my inflammation quite a bit. When I started Plexus, I had lost quite a bit of weight. I was much smaller even than I am now because I was doing really strict diets to try and control my inflammation. I had my rings sized, and now they are huge. Like shortly after starting Plexus, I was like, I'm going to lose my rings. Like they literally will fall off, and I have to put a little ring in front to keep them on. So that's proof that my inflammation has gone down. And this is with me living with a chronic inflammatory condition that I have inflammation in my body all of the time. And so to see like this actual physical evidence is huge. So my face is less poofy. My belly is less poofy. Like I said, I never had huge like weight loss goals. I did gain some weight since my rings were sized, but the rings fit, and then the inflammation went down, and then they didn't fit anymore. And I had sleep issues. Like I just felt like I would sleep and wake up and feel like I hadn't. And then I was wanting to nap every day. Like, come on, kids, let's watch a movie so I could doze off. Or let's read a book. And so then the kids are like, Mama, wake up, read the next page, you know. Those things are gone. I mean, yeah, obviously if I work and don't actually take the time to sleep at night, my body does end up catching up, but that's just because it's a body. It's created to need rest. So I wake up feeling much more refreshed these days. I have a huge improvement to different foods that were causing me some various issues. My kids definitely have been a lot healthier. They have had less issues with foods themselves. They are sleeping better. They are not as sick. Like we don't get those bugs like we used to at all. And so that's really, really good. And yeah, I don't have the burning pain I used to have in my toes. So that's really, really cool too. I'm so thankful for that. I would go to bed at night and my toes would just feel like they were on fire. And I'm like, oh my goodness, just chop my feet off. Like it was like when I went to bed, it caught up to me. I don't have that anymore. And that's amazing because that was actually quite disturbing. Anyway, I think Jackie got kicked off with her internet, so you're stuck with me for a few minutes. But I will share too that because I have this background where I've learned to do research, that I've done research myself, I feel very confident in our products and the science behind them. And so, yes, sometimes it's a different way of looking at our health system or our health conditions overall, but I really, really appreciate that. And it makes so much sense to my brain that it's really, really cool to see. And then to help people get started on these products and see those changes happen with them is completely rewarding and amazing, and a constant reminder that, yes, these are huge key factors that need to be addressed with inflammation, gut health, and blood sugar regulation. So the other piece of Plexus that has been such a unexpected blessing there's so many things. So the friendships, meeting people that I never would have met had I not been doing this, working with this opportunity. Jackie and I have gotten so much closer because, we weren't super close way back in PT school. And this has given us a nice bond and opportunity to, support one another, even though we're like 8 hours away from one another. Okay, I'm going to get Jackie back on here. And hold on. Okay, let's see here. Sorry. We can do this. All right, Jackie, I'm pulling you back in here.
Yay!
There we go. Promote to panelist.
There I am.
You should pop up.
Start video. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
You have to start my video, but can you hear me?
I can hear you. Let's see.
Well, I can talk as you're going. So,
I think you can start your video.
try it again.
Yeah, try again.
Nope, it says you stopped me, but I can be invisible if I need to be.
Okay, hold on. I'll try. You talk.
Okay, so my story, I've had a lot of different issues. I have blood sugar issues actually. When I was in PT school, my sugar would crash and I'd kind of try to keel over during some of my different clinicals, and they had suggested that I go on a low sugar diet to help with that. And I was also having a lot of different joint issues, and by the time my husband and I got married and we started trying to have kids, it was very difficult, and it's kind of hard to get pregnant when there I am. Cool. I have a lot of different girly issues, so I'd been on medication for that for a long time, and it took us a long time to try to get pregnant. And they even treated me for an issue with my ovaries that has problems with insulin regulation, which I didn't even realize. And finally we had our daughter, and still continued to have some girly issues. And on a whim, I happened to notice that Elizabeth kept posting about all this Plexus stuff. I'm like, whatever. And I had taken my youngest daughter down to a geneticist because she has some different issues. And one of the things she was doing was kept eating all these non-food things. Like my kid was a kid who was banned from the Play-Doh table because she'd eat the Play-Doh or the crayons or God only knows what else. And the doctor said, hey, have you ever checked her iron? And I'm like, no, but mine runs low. So I started giving her some vitamins I found at the store, and then I started realizing some of the different things that were in there. And artificial sugars and colors, they're not good for kids. They don't belong in kids at all. So when I saw Elizabeth posting about this, I sent her a message and I'm like, hey, you got anything good for kids? And so she sent me the information about the kids' vitamins. And she said, hey, what have you ever thought about this for you? I'm like, no, this is just for my kid. But me being thrifty, I got in for the discount, and then I started looking into this stuff and started taking Triplex. And it was so funny because within the first month of taking it, I said, wait a minute, I have my period and I'm not dying. What is going on? And then I started feeling better. I started getting energy back. They had a dermatology appointment scheduled for me because my hair was falling out, which is not a good thing at all, especially as a girl. And I started noticing all of these differences, and I actually was able to stop taking daily medication for joint issues, which to me is pretty important because I don't want to be on daily medications anymore. I don't need to take my daily iron supplements anymore. I'm not having to do all these different things. I'd even been treated for different issues with my belly from, getting holes in them. I've had my gallbladder out, and I don't have to follow any special diet. My periods are actually regular now. My hair, seriously, my hair's never been this long. It's kind of insane. And I feel good. I'm over 40 years old now, and I've been able to do things now in my 40s that I was not physically able to do in my 30s. So to me, that's big. And the only way that I can explain this is when you start to research these different ingredients and you look at the way that the body uses sugar and decreases inflammation, that seriously is the only thing that's different. So getting my gut in balance, getting all of that working well has definitely made a huge difference for me. And I'm so excited that it's also changed the life of my kids and I can do so much more. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell, and how it relates back to physical therapy and gut and sugar and all of those other things. So
and you've done 2 mod races?
I have. I actually have done 2 mud runs and a color run. Did I win them? No. But from going from somebody who's actually was hardly able to walk because I've had to have 3 different hip surgeries and a shoulder surgery, a little heart thing too. Being able to do those is huge. So I like to be able to share some of those stories with my patients too, because so often we get patients who are like, no, I've had this happen to me. I can't do this. Or, I have a disc bulge, or I have arthritis. And I'm like, hey, I've had these things too. And just because you've had these things doesn't mean your life has to end. It's all in your mindset and how you're taking care of your body. And you have so much more potential if you let your body do it. So it's pretty exciting.
Absolutely. Yes. I love your story. I know when you very first started on your products, you sent me a text and you're like, I'm on my cycle and I haven't had to take any X, Y, and Z. And you had just started, like you hadn't even been on it very long. And I'm like, yes, that's awesome. It was so cool. And you were,
I'm like, this,
like, what are you giving me?
Yeah. What did you do to me?
Because it was so abnormal for you, for having years of issues, to having this what, this is how it's supposed to be, it was a huge change for you. So it's cool. Very good.
Yeah, I mean, it took 3.5 years and medication and surgery and all sorts of things for us to be able to have our first daughter. And, I just think that if, I'd had these products many years ago, we would have had kids a lot sooner. But, I have to believe that there's a plan out there for the way that things happen. But, for other ladies who are out there who are struggling with some of these issues, I definitely think it's something that's a great opportunity to give them natural alternatives versus adding in a bunch of medications that, number one, make you not feel good. Some of the different drugs that they give you to help balance out your blood sugars and deal with insulin resistance honestly resulted in like 2 years of diarrhea and nausea for me, which is not so conducive for trying to make babies. The other thing too is some of the different medications they give you to help regulate your hormones, they're really hard. There's a lot of cancer risks associated with them and heart risks, and long-term use of them is not good for blood clots or other issues that are related to gut health. Even if you're taking different hormones for other regulation issues, they have an effect on you, which, can come back long-term. So if we can regulate this naturally without all those nasty side effects, it's just really, really helpful and gives people a lot of hope.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being on here with me tonight. When you were off, I was telling them a little bit about the unexpected blessings that I've occurred and you've incurred with this opportunity, and it's these friendships that we've developed that we wouldn't know so many people had it not been for Plexus. When I started sharing Plexus, my husband was finishing up school. I was working full-time. I still am working full-time as a PT. And we had our last 2 kids while my husband was in school. I have 4 total. And so by the time I started like this Plexus thing, he was so busy finishing up his degree. Like I barely saw him, and Plexus gave me this like opportunity to reach out to people and to talk and to help. And I could do that from home after the kids were in bed, because it was hard for me to get involved with ministries and different things when my husband was gone all the time. And we have these little people and work and all of that. And so that was really a surprise that I was not expecting. So many friendships, and then just the way that Plexus rewards hard work has like blown me away over and over and over again. Just our compensation plan, the bonuses, seeing Plexus give back in ways, like in huge ways. Every single disaster that has occurred since I've started Plexus, they're sending a relief crew. They're sending help. They work with charities. They just recently, over this past summer, partnered with Nourish One to feed hungry people. And so our lean product, our meal replacement, which is amazing, like tastes amazing, mixes well, like they're so delicious. I mean, I could drink
my kids ask for the chocolate shakes. They're like, Mom, can we have one of those chocolate milkshakes? I'm like, you absolutely can, you know.
Nice, because I'm like, no, you have to drink the P96 first. I'm like, these are mine until that P96 is gone. Which is still a great product, believe me, it's still super delicious. I just prefer the chocolate lean. It's just really yummy to me. Anyway, they for every bag of lean that is purchased, 28 meals, 28 or 14? 14 meals are in a bag, and 14 meals are donated with Feeding America. So it's so cool. Like, just over and over again, it blows me away. So definitely check out this page. Check out who sent this video to you, got you on live with us tonight. We're all here to help answer those questions. But yeah, we hope that you've had a good evening with us. Thank you so much for tuning in. Jackie, you have anything else to add?
Well, no, I think that's it. I'm just excited. This is my first live in here, and I'm thankful for Elizabeth and for Plexus and for so many things, for my health, for the financial blessings, for the friendships, and for personal growth, because honestly, I live in the middle of the woods and I don't get out and do these things. So it really has helped boost my confidence to grow and develop myself and my relationships and leadership skills, which I think is huge. So there's so many good things about this, and I'm just very thankful. So thank you, Elizabeth. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for joining us. We're so excited. Have a good night.
Have a good night.